Imagine if you learned the water coming out of your faucet was contaminated with radioactive materials.
That's what one Central Texas neighborhood is dealing with right now. Tonight, KXAN investigative reporter Nancy Wilson looks into radiation in drinking water systems, and what she found out may really surprise you.
Well, I'll tell you what, now all of us are exposed to radiation in our daily lives, but some people in Central Texas are getting a higher doses from an unexpected source, their water tap. Now, this is a map of the area in Central Texas where you'll find the Hickory Aquifer. It's this part in the orange. The underwater water source, or the underground water source, covers several counties, including Llano and Burnett County. Now, the Hickory Aquifer is known to contain higher levels of radioactive materials that are occurring naturally underground. Well, we analyzed the test results and found some water supply reports that are levels 5 to 9 times the amount deemed safe by the EPA.
I suspected so.
Gene Braun and his wife moved into their Burnett County home 9 years ago. They get their water from the Council Creek Village water system. Even though the water looks pure and tastes fine, tests show high levels of radioactive material.
Well, it frightens me to begin with, and it angers me that there's no more control.
But there are controls. Public water systems are regulated by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality and the EPA. For the past few years, Council Creek Village has reported levels far above the EPA safety standards for certain radioactive minerals. In fact, 5 to 9 times the limits set by the EPA.
We knew it was dirty water. We did know that, but I had no idea it was that bad.
Council Creek Village is not the only violator. According to TCEQ, 49 out of Texas' 4,728 community drinking water systems are reporting levels of radioactive material above state and federal regulatory limits. When that happens, water companies must notify their customers.
We get a big envelope with a lot of papers that don't mean anything to us.
On the last page, it says some people who drink water containing radium in excess of the MCL over many years may have an increased risk of getting cancer.
In essence, they basically say, you know, drink it at your own risk, I guess.
So what is the risk? We asked Susan Jablonski, a health physicist and the director of the Radioactive Materials Division for the TCEQ.
We're talking about a really small risk associated with that.
Even at high levels reported for Braun's water system, the risk equates to the radiation exposure equivalent to a chest X-ray.
We're regulating it, we're trying to be protective, but it's in the whole scheme of how much radiation you actually see in your daily life, it's minuscule.
It may be minuscule, but there's a reason the EPA sets safety limits. Gene Braun doesn't understand why the state is allowing his water company to get away with repeated violations year after year. Nor does he understand why there's no fines or consequences.
The way we viewed it at the agency is instead of issuing a penalty and having them pay that, it'd be better for them to use that money and those resources to come up with a solution that they can work, and a long-term solution. So that's been our focus.
So have they asked for help from the agency to solve the problem?
Well, yes, we've been out there to provide them assistance. We conducted a feasibility study, and so yes, they understand that there's something they need to do, and they have been working with us.
Well, so far the TCEQ doesn't know what steps the owners of Council Creek Village Water Company will be taking to get those radiation levels lowered. But today, a company official said they will be meeting with the TCEQ on July 27th to discuss options, and they'll follow TCEQ's recommendation. Now, in the meantime, customers can install filters on their water taps or use bottled water. Now, in Texas, all public water systems are required to regularly test their water. If you want to see the results of your companies, log on to KXAN and we'll show you how to do that. Nancy Wilson, KXAN Investigate.